Hello everyone. It's now it's still Wednesday, right? At 11:04 p.m. at night. So, I'm scheduled to have to check out of here tomorrow and be back on the streets, and I wish I had more hotel nights. And I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but probably earlier during the day, not really at night. So, I had a frustrating evening. My left side just started to hurt. But so after I did the previous video telling everybody, how court went, I attempted to take a nap but could not sleep. And then I got online and was when I tried to upload the video, like the video was like maybe 15 minutes before it was done uploading, and I was getting rain alerts on my phone. I didn't go outside until after but I was getting rain alerts on my phone, and then the power didn't completely go out, but it just like flickered for a split second. And then after a while, like 15 minutes before my video was supposed to be done uploading, that's when the Wi-Fi and my phone data and everything, all the internet went out completely. And I was fighting with it, and it was acting a little wishy-washy, and then it stopped working completely. And then I went outside, because like on my phone, even on a previous phone, and ever since May, it was, I don't remember, and again, like right along with my foot situation, I don't know if it was, with my right foot hurting. Ever since May, I've been having problems with my right foot hurting. Also, it's around the same time I've been having problems with my phone frequently. Like by the mobile data, it says the exclamation point, and a lot of the times it will say emergency calls only. And on this new phone, the problem with that is not solved. I tried to solve it today and it's still not solved. So there's something minor that I experienced today that I wish I could tell y'all, but the stalkers would twist everything and make it worse than what it is, and try to get me wrongfully, make up lies and try to get me wrongfully banned from here. But I can't say it now. But I hope I can remember like 6 months from now or something like that. But anyway, it's nothing bad that I did. It was just an interaction with someone treating me mean. How about that? No having an attitude with me. But I can't go into detail. But I went outside, I think it was about 4:30 this afternoon, and went, like, this morning, when I took the Uber ride, I mean, I had to immediately turn off the Wi-Fi, and outside the hotel, you know, excuse me, my phone data was working perfectly. But then this afternoon, was not working at all. It's like whatever rain that it did, it must have dried up real quick because the ground was not that wet and the sun was out at like 4:30 or something like that. But before then, I was getting like some rain alerts on my phone, and from me sitting in the bed and looking out the window, the sky did look a little dark, you know. So, but sometimes I would get rain. Could be at the library and get rain alerts on my phone, and I could be at the library and getting rain alerts on my phone, and then it would not even be raining at all. Or sometimes I will have like no rain alerts and it's raining outside. That's frustrating that these weather apps, I have multiple weather apps, and it seems like it's frustrating when they cannot be accurate, you know. So if Google predicts that it's gonna rain in 3 hours, and then 3 hours come and it's no rain at all, or Google might predict that it will be sunny outside, and then next you know, it's pouring raining out of nowhere, you know. So excuse me, it was frustrating. And I mean, I was so frustrated, and it made me question whether or not it was a gang stalking setup, and if the perps just was trying to block me. Like last court date, I was frustrated, and the perps were trying to hinder me and block me from uploading the video telling how court went and everything. So I was wondering if it was like a gang stalking Truman Show kind of moment. You know, you make the whole area suffer just to prevent one person from uploading something. You know. And just like when I had altercations, when I had the internet service at that apartment, I had just got settled, and the fake skank shitney perp with the 666 kids at the place in Pensacola, after having altercations with her and documenting her perp activity towards me and narcissistic abuse, the power just the internet just fake conveniently went out on everybody just to prevent one person from uploading someone. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. You know, it seems supernatural in a bad way. So I yeah, so for hours, you know, they prevented me from uploading videos. I mean, and using the Wi-Fi and everything. I couldn't even order dinner. I couldn't do anything, and I was determined to just stay here and not leave the hotel at all. Just stay the hell here and not go out anywhere. Not go back out anywhere, you know. So there's a loud perp vehicle illegally passing by. So excuse me. Otherwise, my video probably could have been done uploading like by 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I think it uploaded probably in like 6 or 6:30, And I got frustrated and tried to call my phone company. And then, um, before I can talk to anybody, the Wi-Fi went back working, and the video was able to be done uploading successfully. And I was able to use the Wi-Fi for like maybe about 30 minutes. And then afterwards, after that, the very moment dinner, the very moment, instead of making my eye itch, the very moment the thought about dinner crossed my mind, that's when the Wi-Fi and my phone data went back to quit working again. Excuse me. I was like, damn, this must be some remote neural monitoring. You know, the very moment dinner crossed, it was 7 o'clock in the evening. And the moment, it was actually 7:02 to be exact. And the very second that dinner crossed my mind, everything stopped working again. And I had to call the phone company like 3 or 4 times. And the problems, they were nice, but the problem still didn't get resolved. And then after the third time, I got frustrated and just gave up. And those 2 last biscuits that I had from the day before yesterday, I warmed those up in the microwave and ate them. And after I got done eating them, and that was probably like 8:45, 9 o'clock, that's when the freaking Wi-Fi and everything and phone data and everything started to work like back to like normal. And I'm like, well, ain't this some shit? So I'm like, well, I'm gonna order dinner anyway. So it took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to eat, and I had a discount with Uber Eats that if you order at least $25 worth of food, you get like a 40% discount. I did that I think yesterday and today. And I was upset because the actual dinner I didn't get to eat until like almost 10:30. And that's too late for me, So I had they have certain places where they have like where the same place of business will serve both Chinese food and Mexican food or something like that. So I ordered some al pastor tacos and a pineapple drink and cheeseburger and fries. I told them no tomatoes. They put tomatoes on anyway. And but I'm glad they gave me ketchup. And the fries, yeah, that's the same place where they do not drain the fries. And the fries are like greasy and soggy. And so the fries are greasy and soggy. And by the time I was trying to order food, like around 9 o'clock, 9:15, all the businesses were closing. And I'm like, damn, everything I wanted to eat was closing like in 5 minutes or 1 minute or something. So I was forced to have to eat like junk food, like burger and fries or whatever. But the tacos are more healthy. Those kind of tacos, were more healthy. So, excuse me. Tonight I ate like less than half of the fries. And then the soggy, greasy fries, and the burger was like the bun was a little bit burnt, and the burger was like, well, I like a well done burger, um, but the burger was the hamburger meat was like overcooked and kind of burnt and very very dry, you know. Um, but the tacos were so great. They were so good. I ate one of the tacos, and the other three I'm saving for tomorrow, and the rest of the fries I'm saving for tomorrow. And that's gonna be my and the I drank approximately half of the drink, and I'm planning to save the rest of the drink and the other three tacos and the rest of the fries for breakfast tomorrow. You know. So that's gonna be my breakfast. Excuse me. And then I have to get out of here. But I wish I could have more nights. I'm not ready to go back on the streets and deal with being tortured and harassed. So, excuse me. But thanks so much, y'all, for your comments and support and, thumbs up, donations, whatever, subscribing. Thanks for all that, I really appreciate it. I'm like, wow, I can't believe people, if there's anyone that actually do care, So if everything would have gone smoothly, I would have wanted to work on my writings, but I didn't get to work on it at all, because of being so frustrated with fighting all evening. But I think about 5 o'clock this afternoon, I took a shower. Around 5 o'clock this afternoon, and I got a little bit overheated and damn near fainted. But I quickly turned on the cold water and cooled off real fast, So, excuse me. Well, I'm sitting here like, wow. I'm feel like as if I dodged a bullet today, but it's like the battle is not over. Having to go to court on both September 29th and then again on October 8th. So and I hope that I won't end up in jail on either occasion. Because see, the fake narcissistic officer, um, you know, I wouldn't like I wouldn't be surprised. I hope he would not lie. Lie under oath and lie in court. Because as I said, well, every Gretna police incident I have, he's been that resulted in jail. He's been illegally on the freaking scene, or me having to deal with him. Excuse me. And he's one person that fake ass Officer Lowry. He is the one who does not sound like If that's what his name is, Radical's business. That you don't sound like you're from New Orleans, talking like with that kind of accent. You're out of Claire's business. That doesn't sound like a Gretna or New Orleans accent. You sound like I don't know where out of state you sound like you're from. But yeah. Um so I hate to have this fear and anxiety over my head for another 2 months. Like I'm not totally free, you know. But I got my documentation. So, um, I'm still feeling like extremely emotionally depressed. And you know, I mean, they have so many people that's trying to get me to relocate somewhere else. Like in 2023, when I came back to New Orleans, I've been here. I had been at that time. I was here for not even a week, and struggling to find somewhere. And you know, and I, and everybody was already saying, "Well, you're gonna have to relocate somewhere else." I'm like, I just got here. I just relocated back home because basically, you know, originally in 2023, when it was right before me and my twin sister's birthday in August 2023, when I got the call that my name came up on that housing list for Pensacola, and I left Bloomington, Texas to go, you know, with the housing in Pensacola and Pensacola, Florida, because they got a Pensacola, Oklahoma too. But I'm talking about Pensacola, Florida. Excuse me. And well, the in Pensacola, you know, like I was paying like $575 or $540 or something like that a month in Bloomington, Texas, and then the rent in Pensacola at that place was I was on the list for 4 years and 3 months, and the place was $213 a month, but you know I had to pay the like electricity and stuff too. So, but I only, due to the severe gang stalking, I only lasted a 1 month there, and they threatened me and made me feel unsafe. The online stalkers weren't there, you know, when I, you know, so they got their own false narrative, but I know the truth and I know what happened. And I spoke on what happened. So my plan was, I oh yeah, I had a laptop that was no longer working, and I had just got all my stuff out of the storage unit and got settled and everything, and um I was so sad to have to get rid of my belongings that I had in my life, you know, belongings and possessions that I had all my life. From 2023 until now, late 2023 until now, that's the, like, other than me coming into this world being born, you know, it's about the least amount of possessions that I've ever had in my life, you know. I always had a lot of stuff, but for me to be forced to have to downsize from a whole entire big storage unit to only one backpack and damn near just the clothes on my back and running for my life, you know, I haven't had a chance to grieve that, you know. So in that apartment complex, I had plans and goals to do lots of things. And I was on the phone with the Social Security Ticket to Work counselor when the perp neighbor was harassing me with loud noise, like doing noise campaigns, harassment, and trying to get gangster and ghetto on me and making death threats at me and stuff. And and you know, right when I was trying to make an appointment for the Social Security Ticket to Work program to get opportunities to get work at home. And I was planning to work at home. I also wanted to would have wanted to do stuff like work on more writing with novels, short stories and everything, and even more nonfiction. And I wanted to do some YouTube cooking videos and food reviews, and also I wanted to change around and improve my diet and eat more natural and walk for exercise and lose weight. Get into the Bible more and pray more. I had so many different goals and so many things and plans, but that got messed up seemingly overnight, mainly over noise, and then the death threats and death attempts, not just threats, but attempts too. And the physical attempts is what, and then the cops siding with the perps and all the fake housing people and everything is how I ended up back homeless again. Excuse me. I couldn't have peace. If I cannot have, they forced farting me. I cannot have a permanent place to live and live in peace and quiet and undisturbed. To deal with perp neighbors blasting loud music, loud TV, and smoking around me and everything. The weed and the cigarettes seeping, the odors seeping inside of my apartment. And for everything to be just loud and chaotic all day, every day, and not the kind of peaceful and quiet it is right now. So the neighbors with the dogs, no dog noise tonight. So they must have checked out this morning. Excuse me. So I'm thankful and glad that it could be a peaceful, quiet night tonight. And so but even now people trying to forcefully order me to relocate or make it like I have to accept their advice to relocate. When I was in Pensacola, people kept harassing me about how I should relocate and get out of Florida, get out of Pensacola. And everywhere I go, they're like, oh, why'd you go there? That's one of the worst places for the TIs. Like, what the hell am I supposed to live? Nowhere? I gotta exist some damn nowhere. Because they want me up north where it's cold and torture and uncomfortable. So I could freeze to death. I damn near froze to death so many times here in New Orleans this past winter. In the winter before. It was brutal. You know. Excuse me. And hundreds of people just watching you suffer and don't lift a finger to help. Like, wow, even an extra dollar would freaking help. So, I don't know where I could go here in New Orleans where I could live in a cottage or a tiny house, you know, where I can live in a cottage or a tiny house or, you know, independent house that's not connected with other people and where I can have peace and quiet, you know. Yeah, I almost had that opportunity in that area earlier. Was it earlier this? No, it was last month. Later last month, I think, when the place that was in St. Charles Parish that I couldn't get because I don't have like a nursing job or a construction job or something, you know. But yeah, but I want to stay here in New Orleans, my hometown, and I don't want to end up feeling homesick again. And I'm wrongfully the online stalkers made this time around the homeless experience. They made it worse than when I was in Pensacola. And so for me to be wrongfully banned from all Wyndham hotels and more than half the hotels and motels in the area seemed like, and then wrongfully banned from all the damn shelters, and you know, and wrongfully banned from so many different other kinds of places like malls, and you know, they nearly succeeded at getting me wrongfully banned. Well, they had me temporarily wrongfully banned from the libraries. And they try to get me wrongfully banned from the aquarium. I'm wrongfully banned from the Riverwalk and by the Creole Queen boat. Wrongfully banned from the old Gretna ferry, the levee over there. And it's like, wow, those were nostalgic childhood memories, you know. And you know, the courthouse and where I took the picture at, well, I took multiple shots of pictures, but I just shared one earlier today. Yeah, like further behind where I was at in the picture, the old Gretna ferry and the levee over there is those. I mean, I grew up kind of in that area. Those were childhood memories that I cannot enjoy thinking about anymore. Excuse me. And these internet stalkers from out of state getting you wrongfully banned from nostalgic childhood places, fond memories that you can't even enjoy. You know, I can't even, you know, rejoice at the memories of what the Riverwalk used to be like when I was a kid. And when they had Dollar Tree inside the Riverwalk, and you know how enjoyable everything used to be. You know, and for them to just get you wrongfully banned from places just for the thrill, and illegally swatting you just for the thrill, you know. So, um, I refuse to relocate anywhere else. I'm staying home. But I'll go visit somewhere else. You know, if someone, I mean, I don't have the money to do it on my own. But if someone wanted to treat me to go visit somewhere else, I'll go visit somewhere else. But I want to stay home. Here in New Orleans, home. I've been homesick. I want to stay home. But I love to travel and go different places, but I don't want to permanently reside in anywhere else. But I'll go vacation somewhere else, but not to live. I want to stay home. But the stalkers are, you know, they've been making me frustrated to feel like I'm sick of this city, or I'm sick of the people here, you know, sick of New Orleans, when that's not how I really feel. But it's the gang stalking cult, you know, manipulating for me to feel forced to have to feel this way. And another reason why, I mean, I cannot move or relocate out of New Orleans until after these false criminal charges are solved. After October, since they push everything back. So I gotta be fighting false criminal charges and keep going to getting wrongfully arrested and thrown in jail and keep going to court almost every month all year. This is no, and why they kick back and laugh and think the shit is funny. So, excuse me. It seems like everything's put on hold. I cannot relocate anywhere, and I also cannot get any jobs or housing or anything until after the false criminal charges. If I'm found innocent, you know, even if, you know, with the you know, with me being blacklisted, it was still hard for me to find a job anyway, you know. But I forgot to say that with the Uber Eats order, they had a you know, a masculine lesbian perp. Her hair was shorter than mine, and she looked like she was way younger than me, and she was little bitty and skinny and maybe approximately my height, maybe a little bit shorter. And she was purple with red shorts and had a light brown hoodie, and her clothes were dirty and her hands were dirty, and she's sending me food. I mean, you know, delivering my food, and then like bullied me to let her see my phone to see if you know, if I was the proper one to take the food or the order. And it's like, well, that's well, you know, I wonder why didn't she select for me, you know, the idea that sometimes they would have a for you to give a special PIN number, you know, for you to give a special PIN number, you know, why didn't she I mean, I had never had an Uber Eats or a DoorDash person trying to, with an attitude, demand an answer for, oh, let me see what's on your phone. You know, I forgot, I almost forgot to tell y'all that tonight. You know, but yeah, she was perping with red shorts, and all her clothes were dirty and her hands were dirty, handling my food. You know, and all of my head is itching for all over for some reason. Excuse me. And she looked like she was barely 20 years old. Excuse me. It's like she had an attitude from the get-go. And her name was Jalen. Or probably Jalen or something. I really think it was pronounced Jalen. But last year I was held back from moving forward with anything, with jobs, housing, anything, because of the wrongful arrest and being thrown in jail and everything. And like, it was July 17th when the fake court case got crookedly settled in a fraudulent, illegal way. You know, the fake public offender scammed me. And he scammed me. Excuse me. And after July 17th of last year, you know, everything was over until, January 9th of this year, jail and court all over again. And so, so many things I wanted to do was put on hold. And then, you know, me losing my biological brother Wyatt on the day before our birthday last year, and then, you know, being treated with abuse the week of his funeral, being wrongfully kicked out of and banned from hotels during hurricanes and stuff. And then people like didn't even give me a chance and were harassing me about how I should go get a job. And even like, it was August before our birthday, and I'm applying for jobs and getting like a couple of phone interviews here and there, and or sometimes if they might hit me with weapons so bad I have to cancel the interview. Excuse me. Or they would tell me that they found people for the job already or whatever. And I don't remember if it was October or November of last year with the take 5 car wash in Metairie across from Denny's, right, and the Denny's is right next to the what's that? The fake ass La Quinta Inn where I'm wrongfully permanently banned from and was narcissistically abused and ganged up on and bullied, you know, and and then yeah, so they buttered me up and led me on to think that I was about to get hired to start to work, and then they went AWOL on me, and I ended up not getting hired and not being able to work or whatever. You know, so that was my last attempt at trying to freaking get a job. And I'm just gonna work on my writings. That's it. You know. And I'm tired of being workplace mobbed. I'm tired of being community mobbed. Tired of the stalking and harassment and people denying me the right to peace and quiet and a quiet living enjoyment or whatever. Tired of being on the streets, homeless. Tired of being homeless, period. And I don't even know if my scalp is extra dry from the when I put the gel in my hair. My hair is itching like crazy. And I washed my hair out 3 times. But so 3 days after being illegally swatted, the freestyle novel that I'm working on now, I started it December 24th of last year. I mean, no, was it December 28th, 2024, something like that, or somewhere in December of last year. And I'm pretty sure, well, I haven't counted, but I think I got less than 30 paragraphs. How much, I mean, if I could have been a full-time novelist and not have to go through all this, the quality of the book could have been better. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it could have taken me less than 8.5 months. But I mean, I have another novel that I have been fighting to work on since 2019, and I'm not even finished half of it, and it's 2025, and you know, but it does not look like, I mean, by it being August 13th and dealing with the homelessness and sleep deprivation and the direct energy weapons and the gang stalking and harassment, there is no way that I can even have the freestyle novel to be ready in 12 more days for me and my twin sister's birthday. No way at all. So, and I'm disappointed about that because, for me to be out on the streets and to be forced to be hyper vigilant all night and stay awake and holding my urine in for I don't know how many hours and dealing with being harassed and perped, or if I doze off and fall asleep. Now that the like during the winter and spring and fall, I cannot fall asleep sitting on a bench, but because of the weather being a little bit warmer, sometimes I'll be lucky on rare occasions if I can doze off and fall asleep and be asleep for 3 hours and nobody to mess with me. Excuse me, but a lot of the times they will have perps, whether they be homeless or not, for them to startle me out of my sleep and tell or ask me something irrelevant, or wake me up out of my sleep just to pick an argument or a fight with me, or do something crazy around me, or tell me something crazy, and then excuse me, so I, like a lot of times, sometimes I be like listening to my Christian songs and listen to my music all night, and I question, well, if I listen to the same songs every day, am I doing something wrong, or is that a crime, or am I doing something bad, or is this permissible? Am I allowed to do this? Whose permission do I need? And for me to be up all night and then finally, during breakfast or whatever, fighting to stay awake, and then go to the library, and sometimes between 9:30 and 10:30 doze off and fall asleep, and then wake up anywhere between 11:45 and 1 o'clock, 11:45 in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they be forced urinating me, and for me to only just get like two or 3 hours of sleep at the library during the day, and then for me to feel the sleep deprived feeling all afternoon, and then try to get on a video or a live stream to ask for help or raise funds for enough for dinner to eat or stuff like that. It's like I don't even have a way to get to write full time and write quote unquote coherently with a forced homeless schedule like that, And I heard that the gang stalker keep you sleep deprived and keep you below functioning. And as I said, I think last night, I refreshed my memory about that targeted individual website where they said that the gang stalkers want to make sure that the target has no income, Excuse me. So I wanted to discuss more about my writings and stuff in the novel and the short stories and stuff, But it seems like the people who claim to be my supporters, it seems like they act like only a smaller handful of y'all seem like y'all interested in my writings. Like I can count on my hands how many of y'all who are actually interested in my writings. It's not many. But but it's like it make me feel like as if I'm just doing empty work for nothing. writing and don't even get compensated and just getting completely ignored. You know, excuse me. Well, it's 11:59 p.m. at night, almost midnight. It's I don't know what time tomorrow morning the video will upload, but I love y'all. I'm gonna get off here, and whatever y'all could pitch in and donate, I need whatever help, any and all the help I could get, whatever I could get, and keep me in your prayers. I'm trying to fight to not give up.